Next one on the list is Zulip, an open source chat and collaborative software which will also deploy inside the LXC. It's a good alternative to software like Slack or Microsoft Teams, main difference being you can self-host it. You should check why Zulip and features pages on their website. This one is pretty similar to the steps we took to create LXC for iRedMail, but it's even easier because there will be only one DNS record. TLS certificate will be handled by Traffic, which will deploy right after this, and we won't have to add any IP tables rules. We'll need a new directory for this LXC, which I'll name zulip.do-p.com. So on the VPS, create this new directory. Then we need to create the Linux container using the familiar lxc create command. So lxc create, directory is now root lxc zulip.do-p.com. Then name of the container, also zulip.do-p.com. I want to download, distribution is Ubuntu, and since Zulip supports it, I will use Ubuntu 22.04, which is codenamed Jammy, and architecture is AMD 64. I'll configure static IP address for this container too by editing its config at var lib lxc zulip.do-p.com and then config, and adding this line at the end, IPv4 address. So IP address for the mail LXC was .11 and this one will be .12. Save the file and let's start the container with lxc start and then the container name. lxc-ls-f will show that this container already has the correct IP address, so you don't have to do that step with removing netplan.io as with Ubuntu 20.04. Let's attach to the container with lxc attach, name of the container, and clear env flag. However, we do have to fix the DNS issue. DNS fix is the same as with Ubuntu 20.04. We first need to overwrite the symbolic link in etcresolve.conf using run systemd resolve.conf. Then we need to create a new drop-in directory in etc systemd resolved.conf and then .d at the end. And in that new drop-in directory, we will create override.conf, and in it we'll have resolve section with DNS and fallback DNS lines. Save the file, systemctl restart systemd resolved, and ping cloudflare.com now works. Now that DNS is working, we can upgrade the system with apt update and apt-y upgrade. Image downloaded with lxc create command was a fresh one, so all packages were already up to date. So I will now go and install OpenSSH server. I'll now create .ssh directory, give it proper permissions, and with this snippet I'll add my public SSH key to the .ssh authorized keys file. I now need to add an entry to my laptop's SSH config, so same as the last time, connect to this private IP address using this already defined host as a proxy. This time I'm using more modern proxy jump option. Let's now test if ssh zulip.do-p.com works. I am sure. And great, we are inside the Zulip LXC. Now let's add a backup script for Zulip LXC and make sure that this LXC starts on boot too. Open main.yml inside lxc tasks directory and modify it a bit. I'll add these sections here. So first, copy the backup script for zulip.do-p.com, then add that script to the root cron, and finally I want to make sure that this LXC starts on boot too. Save the file and open LXC backup zulip.do-p.com in LXC files subdirectory. This is mostly the same as the backup script for mail LXC, the only difference being target is now target Zulip and LXC name is zulip.do-p.com. Save the file and open .env backups file in LXC files subdirectory and add this one variable. Target Zulip is zulip.do-p.com. Save the file, open setup.yml, make sure that only LXC role is uncommented, save this file too, and run Ansible playbook. Ansible has finished, and if I go to the VPS now and check the root cron tab, I will see this new entry about the backup script for the Zulip LXC and systemctl status LXC at zulip.do-p.com will say that this service is enabled, which means that LXC will start on boot. The reason it says it is inactive or dead, even though it is obviously running, is because we didn't start the LXC using this systemd service. We started it with LXC start command. After the reboot, this will show that it is running. Let's test the backup script by running it manually now. Script has finished and storage backups LXC now has a new directory, zulip.do-p.com, and inside it are containers file system and containers config.